lot of flavor. So, welcome back to New Ingredient Mondays, where on certain Mondays we try out new ingredients to bring excitement to your cooking life. This is an interesting product right here. Obviously, I've lived in the UK for several years right now, but I've never tried the Welsh Laverbread. Laverbread. Actor Richard Burton called it the Welsh caviar. They said, like, an English writer back in the 16th century said that the Welsh were harvesting something called black butter. Okay, so what laverbread is it's essentially seaweed. The ingredients here: seaweed, sea salt, water. How they make it is they will harvest up the seaweed and then cook it more so on low heat, like 90 degrees Celsius and or lower, for 4 hours, for 8 hours, until, I've never tried this before, but until they get it to this paste. Let us actually open this together. It's like a can of tuna fish. Some background on laverbread, though, is one of the articles that I read said that back in the 9th century, during the Norse invasions, people went hungry, people went without food, and that's when they started harvesting this seaweed. More recently, though, laver is linked to, Wales's history with mining and coal and slate, and really being taken advantage of by right here. There were a lot of people that were also quite poor, didn't have a lot to eat, and one of the articles said that doctors were recommending them eating this laverbread, this seaweed, because it was high in iron and high in a lot of other nutrients as well. So that is what we see here. So how do you eat this? Let's open this together as well. Let's just do that first. Okay. Interesting. It's also a bit jelly-like, just because of probably the coagulating kind of agar-esque properties of seaweed. So why is it called laverbread when it looks kind of like Spam? And then how do you eat it? So they call it laverbread because in production, I guess, in making this, they would knead the seaweed. But they actually, a lot of the times how they would eat it is they would mix it with oatmeal and this seaweed and mix it together and then turn it into cakes. So I thought we could quickly try that today. The recipe in the back of the box actually says what you do is you cook the bacon, you get the grease out, you take the bacon out, and then in that grease is how you would fry the laverbread, so the oatmeal and then the seaweed. So that seems delicious. Obviously, I'm vegan, so we'll do it a little bit differently here. But there's also laver and cockle pate that you can mix together. And then just for a snack, it seems like you could just probably slather some of this onto toast. Serve it with scrambled eggs, sliced tomatoes, grilled bacon, pickled cockles or mussels. Top it with cheese, so you can put it onto bread that way. I think on one of the articles that I read, obviously the English breakfast, very big here, where it's like sausages and bacon, or is there eggs? I'm not sure. And then beans, like baked beans on toast, is what the English do. But I think regionally, what the Welsh might do is to slather some of this onto their bread. So I have some homemade crackers that I made, so I thought we'd try it out that way. But then let's just go ahead and quickly prepare these like a chilled out vegan version of these laver cakes first, and then we can try them together. Hold on, let me just smell it for you first. definitely smells like the ocean. It smells like seaweed, but it smells like a fresher type of seaweed. Like, cause you know, sometimes when you just smell like nori, like sheets of nori seaweed from sushi place, it doesn't smell as verdant and fresh. Like this still smells like it's just like from the water and from the ocean. So it's like a spread. Like that. I don't want to taste it yet, but we'll have like a small taste first. It's a lot of flavor. Yeah, I was gonna try it at the end. Okay. It is slightly salty because of the seaweed. It does taste like ground up. It does taste like ground up seaweed. It tastes very much like the ocean smells. Yeah. But you know, other than that, I mean, it's a puree of seaweed, so that's texturally that's also how it tastes. I think that they make different versions. Like some Laverbreads are more like chunky, or they don't puree it as much, and then some of them they do. And this one looks like. I mean, I'll show it to you afterwards. Like I'll get a close up of it, but this is. I'll get a close up of it, but you can definitely still see a little bit of the sheets. Okay, let's make the lava cake first, and then we can just properly have it together. Okay. Oat flour, or rather, it's oatmeal, but I ground it up a little bit because it needs kind of fine. Yeah, it says medium or fine oatmeal. Just blended it a bit. I'm only gonna make half of this. And it seems to be wet enough where mixed with the oats, it will, yeah, it'll turn into a dough. So we'll do that. I imagine if you use the bacon and the bacon grease, it should be flavored enough. But if you're doing this plant-based, I imagine you could probably put in some salt or something like that. Okay. Nice cheese platter. So let's pan fry these up. You all know I don't love like frying things or pan frying things and just greasy things, but one of the things that I saw from like a video and then I tried afterwards was if you just put like a very little bit onto a paper towel and then just very lightly, like the thinnest layer of oil, it keeps everything from sticking. Obviously, like a non-stick helps, but this is how I like to do my dumplings as well now, because I do like a crispy dumpling, but I don't really like to pan fry it. So just like the tiniest bit of sheen on that kind of keeps it from sticking, but then it also toasts it up a little bit. So. Lol, it happened. I forgot to turn the audio back on. So we're just gonna have to do it voiceover style. I tried the laver first with my homemade curry crackers, and they were
they were nice. They tasted exactly the same as before. So the texture of seaweed, if you've never really had it before, is once you wet it, it does get quite slimy. It is very similar to when you find it on the beach. It has that kind of like slimy feel. This is the same thing. It's ground up. It's like seaweed jam. Exactly how it tastes like, texture wise. So yeah, I think it's either you like it or maybe you don't like it so much. I'm so used to seaweed, like I like eating it. But for me, the texture was very different here. So I would be quite interested in seeing laverbread used just like as an ingredient, like when we were making the oat cakes, because I do think it'll add that like natural MSG to things. Like it'd be nice to see it in noodles. So like maybe if you don't, you can't have squid noodles, you could have this like laverbread noodle. I'm sure someone's already made something like that before, but it would be an excellent like ingredient addition because there is so much flavor, even though the texture can be a bit strange. But once you mix it into things, it won't be so different. Ooh, now let's go ahead and try the oat cakes. So I kind of felt like it tasted like a softer version of like maybe some oat crackers. And like I had mentioned before, the laver was plenty salty already. Like laverbread already has some salt in it, but also seaweed has some salt in it from the sea. So you did not, like if I had salted it, I think it would have tasted overly salty. And then like the other thing is like, yeah, frying it in bacon grease, or at least even having some of that kind of more savory flavor. I mean, you can totally add that with maybe like some soup stock powder or something if you happen to be vegan or vegetarian. When I pan fried it, I mean, it was quicker because like both sides toasted, but I still felt like the inside was a bit soft. But I could see that if I had fried it, it would have had a different texture, obviously. So for those who, wanted to keep it a bit healthier, I would just stick these into an air fryer or maybe like a toaster or something, and then just toast it on like 350 for, I don't know, like 15 minutes or so until it gets crunchier. But it's kind of just like a nice, like, in America we call it biscuits, and I'm not talking about cookies, but like kind of like biscuit texture. It's still like kind of soft. It's like bready, but it's also a little bit crunchy. Yeah, am I done talking yet? I'm still talking. But yeah, there's that flavor. So, but this time you don't really taste the sliminess or like the kind of slipperiness of the laverbread. So that was really neat to taste as an ingredient. It definitely brought on really nice flavor, and you could. Yeah, you could put this into like bread, and that would be really nice too. Or just like, I don't know, any kind of sauce. I think it'd be delicious. I think I actually have like a seaweed pesto, and I'm pretty sure you just mix like laverbread, maybe some, I don't know, basil and nuts and oil. Like I'm sure that's how they made it. So yeah, plenty of uses with laverbread. I hope you all enjoyed. Sorry about not turning on the sound. And yeah, if you have any more suggestions on what I should try for you, let me know down in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. If you want to, yeah, like and subscribe, and there's also a Patreon to the channel as well, which is all linked down below, so feel free to support that and follow me on Instagram, and let's continue this talk forever. Yay. All right, cool. Bye.